Hi and welcome back, guys. Hope you all are having a great day out there. There's a reason on why I can confidently say we will see many people chasing a $5, $10, $20, and yes, much, much higher in price XRP. Now, I want to show you a few clips here today. One that just came out this morning talking about the issues at hand and how XRP solves it all. Also, guys, I have a very powerful message I want to put out at the end. All I ever ask is if you do like talking about XRP, click that like button and don't forget to subscribe. As here today, we saw the U.S. economy shrank 0.3% in the first quarter as Trump policy uncertainty weighed on business. Now, this is the headline of the day, right? Short-term volatility are we seeing in the markets, and of course, XRP coming back with the rest of the market, not alone. However, there's something much, much bigger at hand, and it is the system. The system that we have right now, which is 50 plus years behind, in which XRP will help move forward. Now, I want to play you a couple clips here. Two actually from Brad Garlinghouse and one from Eric Trump here this morning, what he put out, and then David Schwartz at the end of this video. Stick around because I want to put out my own
Singapore,
message.
I believe you get paid once a month. In the United States, you get paid once every 2 weeks. Has anyone ever thought about why you get paid once a month or once every 2 weeks? It comes down to the friction of payments. And if we can remove the friction of payments, why can't you get paid every day? Or even more crazily, why don't you get paid every hour or every second? You could have a stream of value showing up in your whatever repository of value. Now, why you need to get paid every second, I'm not sure. But I do think there's a lot of dynamics that have been built around getting paid every 2 weeks or getting paid every month. And as we remove the friction of payments and make that dramatically easier, I think you're going to see secondary and tertiary effects that are very difficult to predict, just like we couldn't have predicted Grab 20 years ago.
The two, and the willingness to again say yes, back to the first part of our interview, the willingness to actually look forward and realize that the modern financial system is broken, it's slow, it's expensive, and there's nothing that can be done on blockchain that can't be done better than the way that the current financial institutions are working. SWIFT is an absolute disaster. There's not a week that goes by that I'm either trying to send out a wire on a Friday afternoon or trying to receive a wire on a Friday afternoon. You're worried if you're going to hit that 4 o'clock cutoff time, where you might not see your, whatever funds you're supposed to be receiving in the ordinary course of business, for another 72 hours or whatever it might be. It's insane. Why do banks work 9 to 5, with a long lunch break, Monday through Friday? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's, you could go try and get a mortgage in the United States or really anywhere else around the world, but, you and, whoever your spouse is, you could sit there for 90 days, 120 days going through and know your customer with a bank that's literally been your banker for the last 25 years, and it takes you, 120 days to get a mortgage to buy a house. By the time you get the mortgage, the house that you want to buy is already gone and, your dream's already imploded. Like, this isn't modern finance. This is incompetence. Try and transfer money across the world. You want to go buy a watch. You want to go buy a car. You want to go, do whatever it is. The banks take half of that. You have currency conversion rates. You have all sorts of things. You have to find a branch bank in a country with a banker you've never spoken to before. You don't even know if they're, a real life banker or they're a fraudster. Whereas you can open up a DeFi app right now. You can open up, any cryptocurrency app and you can send money wallet to wallet instantaneously without the expense, without the variability. Our banking system is broken. Our banking system is antiquated. Our banking system favors the ultra wealthy. And what actually got me into it is the fact that I realized our banking system, it was weaponized against the vast majority of people in our country, either the people that don't have the zeros on their balance sheet or people who might have worn that red hat that said, "Make America Great Again." And it forced me into the crypto world. And I'm telling you, if the banks don't watch what's coming, they're going to be extinct in 10 years.
I feel like we really are on the cusp of a mass institutional adoption, both of DeFi and of other blockchain technologies. I think this is also like one of the key obstacles to mass retail adoption. A lot of people in the space previously thought that retail adoption was like the big wave. But I think institutional adoption is a precursor. You have to connect to where people are. You have to go to where the value is. You can't build a new financial system from zero, ignoring the existing financial system where everybody's money is, where all the value is, where the real world is, trillions of dollars in value. You can't just say, oh, forget about all that. Let's just build something new over here. That doesn't work. And so I think this wave of institutional adoption over the next year or two is going to be what's going to pave the way for mass retail adoption. And then we can deliver on those promises. Like, we all want to bank the unbanked, but like the unbanked, they have to be able to spend their money to buy groceries and pay their phone bill. And so we have to have that institutional connectivity. And I don't think there are any obstacles. I think that's and I think this conference shows that.
XRP and the performance of XRP compares with Bitcoin. Bitcoin today, as was said earlier, Bitcoin in many ways has been a successful experiment, but not when it comes to payments. The throughput of Bitcoin, both in terms of to confirm a transaction, often can take an hour. I think Tavis said earlier, you're not going to use Bitcoin to buy coffee unless you want to wait there an hour for it to confirm the transaction. And then the transaction cost would be pretty high. So your Bitcoin...
Now, guys, I just wanted to put a couple of those clips on your radar and driving home this point, because we need to think logically. As we see this short-term volatility as the U.S. economy shrank by 0.3%, bringing back the 24-hour chart a little bit here today, we must zoom out and look at the bigger picture. And that is, you've got a company called Ripple who over a decade, working with central banks, governments, countries, big financial institutions, those at the top that make the decisions for you and I, have spent thousands and thousands upon thousands of hours working with the likes of 43rd U.S. Treasurer Rosie Rios, ex-Federal Reserve employees, and a leadership team that is completely stacked with the finest and brightest minds in the world. Do you think they did this for nothing, or is this the new system, and are we, as XRP holders, a part of something much bigger? Those are my thoughts, my opinions. Let me know yours in the comment section below, and I'll see you all in the next one.